Hello, once again, Internet, and welcome to a not so daily Internet video capsule. And I've got something to rant, rave, or generally talk about. Oh, I got a lot to talk about today, and we're gonna do it in bits and pieces because obviously we're gonna get people walking past me. Like now, it's gonna be like spits and spats. It's gonna be like I edited everyone out. It's just that when people are passing me, I don't want to be talking about something. Because you never know when someone's going to either try to photobomb you or just generally start a discussion with you about what you're talking about. And I don't want them to have their penneth in like now, or they can have it later when they've watched my video. Anyway, digressing. It's a nice day today. Sun's out. Never know. Might be a foreboding of what's to come. But there's a few things I needed to get off my chest, a few things I needed to talk about, and just generally about my health and where things are going, really. So let's start off with something I found out today, and that was that according to anonymous sources, couldn't find out who the source was, but apparently this is over Twitter. It's actually trending on Twitter. There's quite a lot of discussions going on over there. Now, I don't know if this is true, and I can't quote any sources for this information, except Twitter. But there's several several websites talking about their side of it. But apparently, is it Theresa or Theresa May, the name of the Conservative candidate, or MP at the moment, isn't she? Still MP, which is annoying. Anyway, she's put into place some governmental backing, right, to give money to the Conservatives, right, an unemployment benefit to the Conservatives that lost seats during the election because of her bungled attempt to open up a fast election before the Brexit so that she could seize power as MP. It was all to do with her and what she wanted. It had nothing to do with what the cabinet wanted or anyone else. It was her. As far as I'm concerned, the penny just drops with her. Now, she gambled and she lost horribly. And I'm glad about that. I myself voted Labour, Jeremy Corbyn. Reason being is because everything he was saying reflected well on me, and I think if he stays as the candidate for the Labour Party, I like him. I think he's got integrity, and we need someone like that in power. We need someone who has integrity, who's not going to take the greedy road. Someone who's, you feel would actually do something for you and not for himself. And I believe him to be that type of person. So I'm voting for him. But, I mean, how crap or crass do you have to be to only back stuff when it concerns someone close to you or someone who's connected to you in some way? Because the only reason she's increasing the funding, which is going to come out of taxpayers' money, which I am now part of, it's going to come out of our money, and she's increasing the employment benefit only because a recent unemployment thing for her people. Even though these people that have lost their seats will get severance pay. They've lost their jobs, yeah, but they get severance pay. They got all this money, that is coming to them, because then they haven't been sacked, they've been made redundant. And that means they get all this payout, and in this payout, they make hell of a lot more than what we do working when we're giving tax. They've even got tax benefits and write-offs as well when it comes to these things. So it's just not fair. And I can't quote any sources on this, but when it boils right down to it, it's not exactly a great thing, is it? It's not. And it doesn't reflect well for the Conservatives. But then again, I've never been a fan of them because they're elitists. They're always out for the people who have the power rather than the people who don't. And you should always look out for people who don't have the power. You should support them more than you should support people who have the money and the power. Because the people who have the money and the power don't need it. Anyway, yeah, my vote's for Labour. Right, so moving on. I recently had a little bit of a health scare. And that being that I was starting to feel dizzy again, which is usually to do with my blood pressure. Was taken to the hospital in a car with my parents. They really looked after me in work. I mean, they really supported me. You know, go Wolfpack. Thanks, Emily. You were really great. And so was it Tom? Recently, he's actually in a different team, but and Stacey. So it's nice to know people care, you know. But anyway, recently I had this health scare, and it's to do with the fact that my blood pressure medication is a little bit too high for the weight that I'm losing, because I'm losing a lot of weight, obviously intentionally, not because of sickness. And this is throwing my blood pressure medication out of whack. Now the problem is, this is an ongoing thing, and the problem is that we're not going to be able to stop the blood pressure medication that I'm on at the moment because it's not stable at that low amount, you know. It's not stable. It keeps going up and down as normal. But the lesser end of my blood pressure is a little bit too low. That means that sometimes I could get an attack where I'll almost pass out, and it's going to happen, and hopefully not on a regular basis, but it's definitely going to happen. And I just if it happens in work, I'm just going to have time off the phone, and I've been wanting to talk to her about it, my boss that is, about it, the fact that I might have to have time off the phone if my blood pressure goes out of whack, so I get enough time just to wait for it to subdue itself. And it could take anything from an hour to, like, you know, a little bit more, and if it happens, it happens. There's not much I can do about it. But I don't know if they can actually do that for me. You know what I mean? I'm not going to try not to. It's not my fault, is it? Anyway, she hasn't done my back to work yet, so I haven't been able to address this with her. So if it happens before I have my back to work, what am I going to do? You know, I got nowhere to I got no leeway. Do you think I should, I'll post in the comments, do you think I should just walk up to her and tell her before you even have the back to work interview? Because she needs to know. I don't know, it just makes me feel as though she doesn't really give a shit, you know? But maybe that's just me. Okay, so moving on. Well, that was odd. I just had my blood taken, and they put the needle in, and normally you feel like a small scratch before the needle goes in, and my entire muscle in my arm just tensed. It's weird. I've honestly never felt that before. I don't know if she was new or what, but that was weird. Anyway, normally I relax my muscle, so I didn't voluntarily tense my muscle. My muscle did it on its own. I don't know if she put the needle in the wrong place or what. Anyway, I don't know, whatever. It'll stop bleeding at some point. Can you see me? Can you still see me? Anyway, what I was going to go on about. So, recently went to the cinema because I booked some time off in work in order to give me the motivation, because I was in Cardiff, to go and watch a film that I've been putting off, and that's Wonder Woman. Now, I regret putting it off. That film that's been out a while would have been worth watching in 3D. Like totally worth watching in 3D. That film, it wasn't on the same par as, like, not Pirates of the Caribbean, sorry, Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Because Guardians of the Galaxy was just like proper, you know what I mean? It was like, wow. But this film, I don't know if 3D would have done much for it, really, actually. But this film is amazing. I mean, it's got comedy bits in it. If you're a fan of the old TV program, Wonder Woman, okay, this brings elements of that TV program to the screen. But it has been changed. It's been obviously modernized for future audiences, but it has the cuffs, you know, the bulletproof cuffs that she has for deflecting bullets. What's it called? The suppression gauntlets, which obviously anyone who knows Wonder Woman knows that if she doesn't wear those, her powers go out of control. They use the the new adage of Wonder Woman, where she's a demigod. Basically, she's the daughter of Zeus and Hera, and which means that she's got, you know, both elements of war and love. And she chooses, obviously, to pick love over war. And not going to go into too much detail, but we all know about Wonder Woman if you're a fan. Now it's well worth watching this film. I enjoyed it a lot. There's a lot of jokes in it. A lot of times where you're like, wow, you know, action-packed scenes where she's doing the stuff that, you know, Wonder Woman would do. And I just loved it. I'm going to buy it on Amazon. Giving it a strong 9 out of 10. Can't give it 10 out of 10 because, well, it's just, there are things that could have been changed. So yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that film. Like I said, strong 9 out of 10. And that's because things could have been done differently. I mean, they added a skirt to her, which actually worked, if I'm going to be honest. But I don't know, you know, you're used to the old red, white and blue kind of thing, and I think they tried to detract from that too much, and that's because, well, I mean, let's be honest, they're trying to make it more accessible to other countries. So in a way, I suppose it did work, but you know, Wonder Woman, she's all American hero, isn't she? So she should have been, same as Captain America, and that's just the way it is. So anyway, moving on. Why is it when you turn a iPhone camera upside down, the front display doesn't make your picture upside down? It reorientates itself. So you have no idea which way up your camera is supposed to be. So if I'm upside down right now, I do apologize. Okay, so the last thing, before we wrap this up, because it's getting quite long, the last thing I want to talk about is the new craze out. Actually, it's been out for a while, but I've kind of picked up on it, so it's my new craze. Adult therapeutic colouring in. I've taken it a step further, and we'll go into that now. Now, I don't know what it is, but the adding of colour to a black and white picture is just so immensely stress relieving. I even bought my own colouring book, my own pens, my own pencils, put them in a little case. Got a bag where I put all my books and my pencils, and I'm gonna be totally honest, I really enjoy it. Right, and the dad's picked up on this thing, right, and it's really good. I really like it. Right, so you can buy these books, right, and basic. So before I was rudely interrupted by getting too close to Tesco's and having thousands of people swarming on me from cars. What is it today? I'm trying to do a vlog and people are just making too much noise. Right, so you can get these books. They're called Extreme Dot to Dot books, and basically they're not. It's not a picture. It's just dots with numbers, right, on a page. Right, so obviously, as we all know, with dot to dot, you join those dots together to make a picture. Use a pencil to join those dots together. I then get a fine liner, and then I artistically, so to speak, add the lines in again, but this time as it should be, rather than just straight, which is what normally happens when you do dot to dots. It's all angular. Well, with my fine liner, I make sure that the round edges are round and the square bits are square, right? So it looks like the picture is supposed to be. Then I get my pencils out and I colour it in, right, to match what it should be, right? It is so rewarding because you go from like a almost blank piece of paper, which is just dots, to a picture that you feel as though you drew, and you didn't draw it, of course. All you did is join dots up, but it feels like you drew it, and because of that, it really works well. Highly recommend buying those books, doing it yourself, or at least taking it up as a hobby. It is really stress relieving. It's not a physical hobby, but it's a hobby all the same. Anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about. This vlog has got as long as it's going to get, and it's uploading it today. So anyway, thanks for watching. Give me some thumbs up, love. Subscribe for more, share with your friends. Post in the comments what you like to do on your pastimes, and if you've got any hobbies maybe you can suggest to me. And I will see you guys next time.